How are we doing this morning, folks? Happy Wednesday. Do-do-do. So we're, if I understand correct, we're 8 days out from the new card pack. That seem right based on other people's understanding of things. Morning, good morning. Is there a blunder pick for us this morning? Look at that, a free blunder pick. Pokemon Pocket, you shouldn't have. Who doesn't love a good blunder pick between friends, really? Morning, Spud Bay. Morning, Moon. Any 2 stars? Can I get a 2-star? Never a 1-star? Do I have a full art Heracross? I don't have any full art Heracrosses. All right, hit me, dealer. I can trade for these though once the sun opens up. Ayo! I'll fill that hole, I suppose. It does bother me that the blunder pick doesn't always have the promo card in the 1 in 5. Yeah, it feels a little weird. I assume that's just to keep the system extra predatory so you log in more frequently. This type of... They just want you to have to log in constantly to get the promos. I've missed a couple of the Wonder Pick promos just because I refuse to log in 6 times a day. Husky! Thanks for the over 2 years of Prime. Appreciate it. 26-month streak is no joke with Prime either. That Prime Purgatory causes some disruptions. I'm gonna be honest, are there special rules for which Pokemon can have a Mega Evolution, or is it any Pokemon can have a Mega Evolution? I don't understand how it works. It should be illegal to have this many red dots that I can't clear. But do I have to click on each of them? No, that didn't do it. I hate pimples in games. Anything can Mega Evolve. Okay. There's just a specific set that can Mega Evolve. But what is peak Twitch chat if not asking a yes/no question and getting both answers? It's a bug, they don't always go away. Yeah, accurate. If there's one unifying theme among games that have too many notifications, it's they always end up having that issue. All right. So if we were gonna rank some EX Pokemon here and talk about which ones are extra rank, because some of these are pretty rank gamers. What categories would we want to rank them? Do we just go lazy and do like S through F? Like I kind of feel like I kind of feel like there's like this this rare candy copium tier. And we can call this column garbage, garbage at the bottom. ABS might be appropriate. Other than that, I feel like you can. Is it a Dragonite tier still? Well, it's never the Dragonite tier for the EX Pokemon. Are all these even gonna fit? We've got a lot of them. I was debating if we should even do a full one. There's a lot of EX in this game at this point. So I think I'll record for all of them, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there. We'll see how long this takes and what the numbers look like, huh? Trash tier is gonna be full. Yeah, I think a lot of them are bad. Yeah. All right. Do we do it? Do we do it? I think we're gonna do it. Let me mute this so it's not playing in my ear while we do this. And then the Pocket app crashed, man. Oh, I really need to take the time to set up a different emulator. Moo Moo Player has just been. It's nice that it's a Android emulator without any adverts in it, but man, is Pocket just been incredibly unstable in it. Pino, thank you for the over 6 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. There are a lot more EX Pokemon now in Pokemon Pocket than last time we did a tier list roundup like this. I'm curious for your thoughts on if it's worth ranking all of them like we're going to do today, or if we should try and stick to something more concise. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into ranking things. I think we're going to just start here with taking the worst Kanto starter and putting it right down in the trash tier where it belongs. I don't even think I can say this card has Rare Candy Copium going for it just because it has such expensive extra energy attacks. It's really, really just not great. I think Executor EX is actually all right. Not a top tier meta threat, but you can get plenty of wins with this card hitting heads early. I think we're gonna be stacking up the trash tier today. I think there are a lot of friends where they're just not competitively viable anymore, and I think these friends are all down here. Pikachu EX, saved by the baby Pokemon. I think some of our genetic Apex favorites. I'm gonna slide Mewtwo up in here too. Actually, I've been enjoying some Swata Mewtwo and some other off meta stuff. I don't know how deep I want to get into each rating, considering there's a lot of cards here. I feel like Blastoise EX I could realistically put in Rare Candy Copium just because it at least has a 2 energy attack, so it can start hitting ASAP. Yeah, Marowak is down here in the trash tier. I think Wigglytuff's probably in the trash tier too. This one's pretty outclassed at this point. When was the last time we saw an Articuno EX? I think this one might belong in trash as well. I think Zapdos gets to make it up here with Pikachu. Zapdos has put up a couple of sporadic tournament results with the Pikachu EX decks. Moltres I actually don't mind with Ho-Oh, and I think Moltres plus original Charizard. I bet you could take the stock original deck and mix in some rare candy and still get some serviceable games in. 200 points of damage is a lot of damage. Gengar firmly belongs in the rare candy copium. He has actually spiked a couple of tournament results, and he's a fan favorite for sure. Machamp. I think Machamp is just, I think in order to get into the rare candy copium, you either have to have some tournament results for me, or you have to have a somewhat efficient attack that you can hit aggressively, and Machamp, alas, just does neither of those things. Celebi. I think Celebi actually is okay. We've seen a couple of Celebi eggs decks post results. We've seen Celebi powered by Ho-Oh post results. I think they get to land solidly in the B tier. Gyarados EX. I really wanted to make this card work. I felt like there had to be something to it, and we spent like 2 solid hours losing on stream with this card, trying different things, and I can't in good conscience rate it above trash, I don't think. Mew EX. Just hasn't seen any play in a long time, and it's very, very sad. It's just there's so many efficient attackers that don't knock themselves out that Mew just can't hold its own anymore with its 3 energy. Maybe this might be a card that might be worth exploring with baby Pokemon, but as of right now, until I brew or figure something out, it hasn't had any results, and I think it belongs down here. Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is fine behind Donphan in our latest expansion. I think I would put him up here in B. Pidgeot EX, similar to some of these other ones like Machamp, just kind of pretty thoroughly outclassed by other options for a long time now. I don't even think you get it into Candy Copium. Like Infernape, I think is a textbook. I can rate this in Candy Copium. You can play this with rare candy and hit some big evolutions. Hit some big evolutions early with it and get some free wins that way. Yanmega, previous format powerhouse, now cooked down here. So folks in chat commenting that we haven't had the S or A yet. Well, we're starting at the oldest cards and working our way up, but I think that's probably not going to be a coinkydink that the newer cards are probably going to be rated a little bit higher. This Dorko. Probably another member of the trash tier. Misty decks just ain't what they used to be anymore. I think Pachirisu is serviceable for the same reason Pikachu and Zapdos are. These aggressively slanted electric decks are fine. As one of Hat Lady's biggest fans, it hurts me to put her down here, but she just like does not compete compared to Espeon, Sylveon, Eevee mush stuff. Gallade. I think Gallade is another textbook example of a fine rare candy copium. It's actually one of the decks I've enjoyed playing the most this season. I think any of these 1 to 2 energy stage 2s, you can hit them aggressively, and if you have a good run, you could run people down with them. Weavile is just so far outclassed as a Darkrai EX option. There's like 2 or 3 different Darkrai decks running around, and none of them want to play this card. Speaking of Darkrai, he's one of the oldest members of the game that has just maintained his S tier status since releasing. Turns out being a powerful EX basics that could do chip shots from the bench, quite good. Dialga, yeah, Dialga just hasn't done anything. There aren't really great follow-up for it anymore. It feels kind of slow compared to a lot of the stage 2s that are running, compared to a lot of the things that are running around, like stage 2 and her candy decks. It can't even survive a hit from a Stoke Charizard with a cape. Licky, definitely in the trash tier. Leafeon. Is Leafeon my first A tier Pokemon? I think it is, right? Like, there's a few different EV box things running around. I don't think I would call them the best cards or decks in the game, but Leafeon supplements them and can splash into any EV deck since it brings its own grass energy along. Poor Glaceon is just not very good. Garchomp, again, wonderful candy copium, hits hard and fast early, has some fun utility hitting the bench. Another one down here. Arceus. Arceus is at least B. It's seeing play inside of some of these same, like, baby electric decks that play some of these cards. I think you could maybe make it... if I was, like, putting these, like... if I was rating the tiers within the tiers, Arceus feels like it's the top of B or maybe the bottom of A. I think I err on the side of B, though, just because I think a lot of these decks... are similar power level to like what these Pikachu and Zapdos things are are doing. So I think I would put Arceus here. Stokesard. I think Stokesard's a solid A tier card. It's a previous metagame powerhouse. When you high roll with it, it's really strong. It has trouble into the yellow chicken. You splash some answers, but they're inconsistent to find. I think it's a fine A tier candidate. Beedrill. Enter the rare candy copium. This other Pikachu. Some of these electric decks have been splitting the difference on these Pikachus, or like focusing on these two and playing this as a finisher. I think I'd give that a B tier rating here. Wugtrio is the oldest not deleted deck in my deck editor, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not very good. Giratina joins its eternal partner here in the S tier. These two. It's gonna be Pokemon Pocket's gonna have to look like a drastically different game, I feel, for neither of these to be S tier. How much larger is the trash tier going to be than the other four combined when we're done here today? It might honestly be twice as large. There's so much bulk in this game, chat. There's so much bulk. Tinkaton. Tinkaton's actually close. I think I'm going to give Tink the Candy Copium with Gengar. I've rejected a few 3 energy EX attackers, but I think Tinkaton's other evolutions and the fact that you can play Steel Apron with it now make it serviceable in here. I've played a little bit of it this season, and I think it's fine. Not good, but fine. Just slowly filling up the trash. Incineroar. I feel like Incineroar is definitely Candy Copium at a minimum, but I think I'm going to put Incineroar in B, because I think Incineroar on its own with Rare Candy is a bit better than most of these, but it also sees play alongside Charizard sometimes as well. So I think it's like bottom of B, top of C. I'm going to put it on the bottom of B. All right, we have to zoom out here. Might have to get off. People with small screens are gonna have to start squinting. Solgaleo. I think Solgaleo is simply Candy Copium at this stage. It's not putting up any consistent tournament results. I think it's worse than things like Stoke Charizard. Yeah. Decidueye EX. This one might be our first somewhat controversial rating, but I think Decidueye EX is actually better than most of the ones down here. I also would like to enter for the record of the court that I am biased. This is one of my favorite Pokemon, but I did put Garchomp down here, just so we're clear. I love that one too, but I think Hootie Boy is pretty reasonable. Decidueye Shuckle is one of the less bad brews I've played this season. I think it's a cut above what's going on in this tier here. All right. Raichu. Raichu is kind of this is like the electric Pichu baby Pokemon lifts with their legs, top of the B tier here. At least all of these characters are being played in some mix with Pichu and friends. I was a Decidueye main for a long time in Unite, yeah. Man, I wish Lunala could get into the Candy Copium tier, but she just never really did a lot. Passimidian. I'm just not going to talk about the Pokemon I'm putting in trash tier. They're where they belong. Tapu Koko is another one in this kind of Lightning EX Pokemon with 2 to 3 energy attacks are good with our new baby. Buzzwole. I think Buzzwole belongs in the S tier, gamers. I think the Buzzwole Ultra Beast deck is up there with the Darkrai Giratina deck for hyper consistent deck in the metagame and also putting up fantastic results. Guzzlord. Guzzlord definitely doesn't belong in S, but I think it's A. It's had some amount of popularity inside of the community tournaments, and I think the Ultra Beast package in general tends to just be relatively powerful, and Lusamine is just such a powerful enabler for Guzzlord to make up for its bottom attack costing as much energy as it does. All right, Flareon Flareon EX, definitely up here in A for the EV box playa with Leafeon. It's gonna continue stacking up the trash tier. I think this door could be Candy Copium. I haven't seen a lot of this one, but 1 energy attack into 2 into 3, I think is like a good clean example of like what this tier is going for. Sylveon EX. I think Sylveon EX is definitely S tier. It's probably the top of the S tier, right? I think if there was like an S tier above this design mistake Pokemon, Sylveon's in that tier. Dragonite. I think I'm gonna add Dragonite to the ranks of Decidueye and Incineroar here. I think Dragonite EX with the addition of Lyra to the game is a cut above these other more cope stage 2s. I like that one a lot. I think this one just belongs in A. Like, it's an obvious necessary must-have inclusion for a couple of decks, but like this card could have almost any stats in the game. You're basically only playing it just because it lets you have 4 EVs to evolve from. Snorlax. I think Snorlax is solid B tier. I think the Ho-Oh, Snorlax, Darkrai, Snorlax, Ilima stuff decks are pretty serviceable and on par with like these different baby powered decks that I've been enjoying. Shuckle. I'm gonna be honest with you, gamers. I think Shuckle's one of the cards that I underrated the most in Pokemon Pocket in a long time when I first read it. I think the Shuckle Decidueye deck is super serviceable, and I think Shuckle is an ideal pairing here. If the Decidueye belongs here, the Shuckle belongs here. Ho-Oh. I think Ho-Oh goes in tandem with the Snorlax here, and in tandem with the Lugia. I think these cards are all right. You could play them and not be embarrassed, even if they're not the absolute top of the metagame. This is very reasonable here. Espeon. I think Espeon, like, obviously the Sylveon Espeon deck is like really good. And this one is like, again, if we're ranking within the tiers, it's like on the cusp between these two. But I think I put this here. I think this card in large part is power level of its circumstances, right? Like the fact that you get to play Sylveon and you're just happy to have another psychic Eevee to come along for the ride. The text on this could look a lot of different ways, and it would still just see play in the best deck because without Sylveon being one of the best cards in the game, Espeon's not doing anything. Oh, Kingdra. I'm gonna be honest with you, gamers. Kingdra is one of the most disappointing cards in a while. I don't know that I can even put Kingdra in the candy copium tier. 90 is just not enough for me. It doesn't have an extra tag along on the extra effect on top of it. There's so many Ultra Beasts and whatever else. I think I'm putting Kingdra in trash. Crobat. I think Crobat is honestly, if I had to take maybe a hot take, I think Crobat is maybe the worst card people are playing a lot of this season. And I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's remotely good enough for the volume of play that it's seeing. I think it's like marginally better. I think it's marginally better than everything going on down here, but I think it's very similar to the power level of what's going on in this tier. Yeah, it's one of those, it's a very polarizing effect. Like when it hits, it clears quickly, but when it doesn't hit, it kind of struggles. It's like a higher variance, higher power Executor EX in a way, where you need 3 cards to get your big hit instead of a coin flip. Lantern. I wish I could put Lantern in here, but this card isn't even seeing play inside of these electric decks. Like, I swore the text box on this card looked reasonable when I first read it, but it really just hasn't panned out this way. I think it belongs in the trash. Umbreon. I think Umbreon belongs with the Crobat. Usually it sees play as a 1-2 of in the Crobat decks because they're a dark energy deck that's playing Sylveon anyways. I think bees may be appropriate. I think it's better than trash, but it's not by a lot. Bad promo card. Donphan. I think Donphan's fine. Donphan Aerodactyl, Donphan Rampardo, stuff like that. A-okay. Skarmory EX. This is like, if I had a C tier that wasn't a bunch of stage 2s, I might be inclined to skate Skarmory into it. But I think it's a trash gremlin. I think that one's probably just not good. We have another bad promo. 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 All right, let's enhance for the top here. I think this is what we care about here. Get a good zoom in here on the things that we're saying are okay. So our B tier is a little bit heavy. We've got some stage 2s that you could cope playing with some rare candy. We've got the obvious metagame powerhouses and winners up here at the top. I'm gonna hurt myself. How big is the trash tier these days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by 3, 30, 38. That's 38 trash tier EXs in the game currently. Versus, how many do we have here? So this is 22, 23, 32, 36. I'm going to be honest. The trash tier is less than half the size of all the EXs in the game. I was expecting it was going to be bigger than that. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. As always, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, make sure you smash the like button. And if you enjoy tier lists, deck highlights, and other game news surrounding Pokemon Pocket, make sure you're subscribed to Hooglandia Pocket on YouTube so you don't miss anything in the future. Appreciate everybody that made it all the way through to the end of our tier list today, and I hope your next pack is an excellent one. Which one is the best baby for you? I mean, Pichu and Magby are the best babies for sure. Absolutely. All right, shall we play some games? Shall we see if our Android device will let us play some games or if it's just going to be crashing today? Fighting needs a ramper. It does. Maybe. Pokemon Pocket. Do. Oh, between now and the next time we stream Pocket, I'm gonna take the time to set up a new emulator. Which might not be till next week. We'll see. Please work. Please work. Sometimes I feel like when it's crashing, it's usually crashing at the start. Usually once we load it, it's okay. Dang it, Bobby. Dang it! Are you planning to do a Snap tier list today too? I don't think so. What was the last time I did a Series 4 or 5 tier list for Marvel Snap? It's probably close to about time that we do that again. But I have to download images and stuff in advance. That could be a good activity for tomorrow. It's been 2 months since I did a Series 4 or 5 tier list for Snap. Maybe I'll do one of those tomorrow. We're just post OTA again, so doing those after an OTA makes a lot of sense typically. Well, I will say, Hobbit, if you're somebody who's thinking about poking in, there are a number of decks that you can build that don't need any cards from the latest expansion. So, like, if you were going to poke in, you could definitely find people in the Hoaglandia Discord or other Discords that could trade you EX Pokemon. Because they made trading a little bit more accessible. You trade for Stardust now instead of the unique trading currency. I ought to build. I was asking folks in the subs Discord server for deck ideas. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Or not. I don't give it 1 or 2 more tries, but if it's just not gonna work, maybe it's not meant to be, and we'll just play Marvel Snap this morning. I would like to play some Pokemon Pocket. But their lack of a PC client is truly unfortunate. Let me toggle a setting or two here. I'm gonna give it a couple of setting toggles. I might just have to. It's been extra crashy since their last patch. All right, let's try a couple of those toggles, huh? Yeah, it's not just me. I've heard I did some Googling to see if there were other people having issues. No one had a surefire solution. It sounded from different threads I came across online. It sounded like most Android emulators were having a lot of crashes. What's the best emulator these days for Pocket? Dilsky, if I knew the answer to that question, do you think I would be sitting here on stream watching this game client crash on me? Let's use our powers of derived information, gamers. Yeah, I'm currently using Moo Player. Previously, I'd used LD Player, but it just, like, has a ton of, like, let's call them fan service anime ads in it. You're asking gamers to think? Here's your problem, Hogland. Imagine asking a gamer to think. And while, obviously, the client crashing isn't Dina's fault, the fact that I'm sitting here building a deck list by hand instead of being able to click it and import it with 2 buttons is their fault. What's his name? Oh, it's Larv, not Love. Larvitar. It's funny, what's his name? Godsley has this had this tweet with a bunch of features he was hoping they would add to Pokemon Pocket. It was this lofty list of ideas. I was like, bud, it's been 10 months and I can't even import a deck list from text yet. Don't get your hopes up asking for big features here. They ain't coming. The Shadowverse QR system for sharing decks is unironically the best deck sharing system I've ever seen implemented in a game. It's so slick. Very, very, very well done. Shadowverse genuinely feels like I wished for a digital card game on a monkey's paw. Because it's like, Jeff, it's going to have the most gorgeous animations and slick digital clients with features you didn't even know you wanted. But also, it's going to be the worst balanced digital card game you've ever played. Just big life is suffering energy. I'll save this before it crashes and loses it. And we'll go and put our cosmetics in. I didn't do the last Shadowverse Grand Prix. Oh, the Grand Prix's the in-client tournament. Oh, no, absolutely not. I actually, unironically, I actually uninstalled Shadowverse from my computer because I didn't want to let myself fall prey to loading it up and being mad at it. I loaded Shadowverse up 2 or 3 days in a row trying to do my dailies, and every time I queued into Rune in 2 games, I was just like, fuck this game, I'm out. Just awful. There are only 2 to 3 playable decks in Shadowverse. There's 2 playable decks and then a counter meta deck that's good into those 2 and kind of bad into the other stuff. The placemat. What a fantastic username. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's super generous. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I plan to check out the Shadowverse set next week. My expectation is, I think the Shadowverse set and new Pocket set are both supposed to launch on similar timelines. I'm hoping the Shadowverse set launches on Wednesday and then Pocket launches on Thursday. We'll probably do more Marvel Snap the next couple of days in the start of next week, and then we'll do a bunch of Pocket and Shadowverse at the end of next week is my plan. Because they're both gonna have card drops. All right, I'm gonna throw the deck list up on the screen. We're gonna try and cope with some Tyranitar this morning. I need to run an advert before we do that though, because I hate when the ads go over the top of gameplay. So I'm gonna hang out and talk with my wonderful subscribers in chat. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to tap the like button. We're gonna dive on into some games with this after the ads are done. I should probably hop on my bike. Although, is the weather looking good? I'm supposed to do a 10-mile bike ride with the boys tonight. I don't know if I want to pedal this morning, if I'm going to also ride tonight. I could probably do both and not be lazy. Jacob's Scout Troop is doing a 15-mile bike ride as part of their overnight camping trip next month, so I'm working with him to work up to it. Marty! Oh my goodness, I meant to come back, so I'm so sorry. 9 years is insane. Thank you for the 105 months, and I know you've been here longer than that, all the way back to the paper magic in the basement days. One of our OG mods before everyone was a mod. Thanks for putting up with me for so long, and all the absurd support over that tenure. 15 miles of zone. It's not too bad. Between honestly, I'm probably in the best physical shape of my life at 34. Oh, I do 10 miles by myself in about 50 minutes, riding at a pretty brisk pace. You tell, there must have been a 5-year-old in my office, Jax. I went to get the bike out, and there were a bunch of Pokemon toys on the seat. Let's put these behind me, huh? Riding with the kids, they take a little bit longer. Yeah, better on the bike seat than on the floor. Ain't that the truth? Does e-biking 10 miles count? If it's got a motor, it does not count. Absolutely not. All right, let's jump in, huh? No. Giovanni is not going to be good for our little Larvitar here. It's a pretty good start for us. We just need a piece of candy. Hopefully Larvitar lives. We can leaf it out and put Weezing up. For the supporter Discord server, you need to have an active membership on a YouTube channel or subscription on Twitch. Or a paid membership on Metafy. We have 1,000 people in there, even with limiting it to just paid supporters. I don't have it in me to moderate a server bigger than that. We're holding on to this one in hand for now. Give them a tackle. They get on to 40. They'll get cleaned up next turn. They need another Pokemon behind here. Steel Apron! But that stops my poison. That's cheating. I queue up with a Weezing deck and immediately hit someone playing Steel Apron. Wake up, sheeple. The truth is out there. Really hoping to hit Rare Candy this turn so I can put this energy onto here. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. We are not playing any copies of Koga. We're on 1 Lyra and 2 Leaf. I do have some time here. Unironically, we might still be okay. Because this is gonna buy us a little bit of time. Got me. Dina was sabotaging your emulator at the start today because they were busy configuring your deck-based matchmaking. Oh, man. Oh, Steelwing doesn't protect from Darkrai's trigger. LOL. I'm not toggling Gas Leak because the apron here prevents it. Alright, so I get to hit them for 70 here. Because they take 20 and then they take 50. Right on time, Candy. Welcome to the party. Thanks for joining us. Jeff, I played Once Upon a Galaxy last night for the first time, and I'm afraid I just joined the Up Till 1 a.m. club. One of us. One of us. It's a very good game. We're cooked, yeah. I suppose if they don't have another Cyrus, we could technically top deck a Lyra and be okay here. Once was fun, but as it get harder, I won every game that I played. It gets significantly harder. There's a ranked ladder where you play against people that are similar ranked to you. So yes. Cooked. Cooked. What is the level to get to ranked? You're in ranked by default. It's the only play queue has ranked matchmaking in it. If you click the whatever the icon is on the bottom right on the main screen, there's a thing in there that'll show you like your rank and your jewels and your progress. There's like a trophy icon or something. I forget what exactly it is. Grego Strauss, thank you for the 20 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. I came for Pokemon Pocket, but I've actually been loving the Once Upon a Galaxy segments after the streams. It's a really well-designed game. I mean, unironically, like, I'm doing some of the stream because they're sponsoring, but we've been doing more than they've been paying me to do. Like, if you like any of the games that I make content for, Snap, Pocket, Shadowverse, etc., you will probably really like. You will probably really like Once Upon a Galaxy. It's just such a good bite-sized strategy game. I think I lead Darkrai. I have the leaf to pull it out. Piece of candy. Bye, friends. I do still need a copy of Leaf or Lyra, but we've got a few turns before we need that. Red card doing typical red card things here. So, the opponent's archetype depends on Ilima to get Snorlax out of the active spot. So what we're actually going to do here is, I'm just going to put the energy directly on my Tyranitar. And then, once this is fully built, we're going to go ahead and Cyrus the Ho-Oh up and clean it out, rather than letting them Ilima this out. Rip. Oh. I don't actually have a way to deal 160, do I? Oh, was I supposed to stay there? I would have needed a Weezing. Maybe if I would have had a Weezing, I could have saved the Leaf and set Weezing up. I just get poked down by their Darkrai, though. I don't have a red or a Geo. Yeah, I actually fucked this up. I'm just gonna mulligan. I'm mad at myself. But if I would have waited for the coughing, I could have leafed into the coughing, and then Weezing poisoned, and then Lyra'd the Weezing back to the Darkrai, and then I could have Darkrai chip-shotted, Tyranitar hit, and then poison would have finished. I shouldn't have leafed. Yes, thank you for telling me the thing I already said earlier. That was why the Ilima or Lyra is why I couldn't damage their Snorlax. I needed to kill the Snorlax in one go. And I could have killed the Snorlax in one go by waiting for the proper setup there, but I played my Leaf too soon. Are we playing the second coughing out? It's fine. grid card in Mars looks good. So they hit their evolution here. We have elemental switch. Yep. So they're 75% to blank my attack, but I can still gas leak them. Go ahead and do this. They're gonna get a point either way. And this way I can save the energy on this for a turn potentially. Hey Marky, thanks for the 3rd of year. Appreciate you ripping that prime. Welcome back. Alright, and with the rare candy draw, we should be good to go, yeah? Because I do this, I plunder. And then they can take this knockout, but then T-Tar's ready to start busting some heads here. Busting some tails, I should say. That lantern is beautiful. It is. You know, I don't think I've played against this one before. And then Cyrus here means they're just cooked. Trey Woo, thanks for the entire year of support. Welcome back. Get you a mod sword to go with that sub shield. Camera off at a meeting that could have been an email this morning went 3-0 in Once Upon a Galaxy drafts. God bless. Yeah, they were putting energy on Darkrai, who blocked, so it would have been damaged. I'm not gonna Pokeball or research here because I don't want to risk pulling the other coughing. Koga is really good when you start wheezing, but you want to start wheezing, and Koga does not help you get your Darkrai out of the lead, which is something you need to be able to do. So Koga is kind of a card that's like good when you're already in an ideal spot, and it's bad when you're not in an ideal spot. So you'd rather play cards like Leaf that help you move towards the average case of your draws. Am I poisoning the Pichu? I think the answer is no. We just let it go for now. They can pivot it off. I want to be able to poison Dragonite if they put it up. If I draw a second Weezing, I'm a little sad I didn't poison them, but... And now that we have 3 energy on Tyranitar, we'll start attacking with this Weezing. I just wanted to have this ready to be threatening in the back. And obviously, I don't want to move into... I don't want to move into attacking with this and then get it knocked out by a dragon. I want this to be going up to the active and dealing 130 to it when we do it. Think there's any way to make Mythical Island Golem playable in this meta? No. Ah, Darkrai! Now I'm sad. Just placed top 68 at Pokemon Worlds for TCG Pocket. It's always funny to me when people say I placed top 68 instead of saying I placed 68th. Because for reference, when people say, like, I top 8'd, or I top 16'd, or I top 32'd, or whatever, it's usually there's a prize, like, cut off, like, everybody, like, 16 through, or 17 through 32 gets the same prize, everybody 33 through 64 gets the same prizes. So, like, unless you're in, like, one of those type of breakpoints, so to speak, you should just say, I got place X. It's more communicative. Alright, Darkrai lets me kill this Dragonite. Unlucky. I needed Darkrai off the top. I can't research into it because then I can't Lyra. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. There was not a Worlds event for TCG Pocket. There was a side event where people played Pokemon Pocket at Pokemon Worlds. For reference, how big was that tournament? You were 68th out of how many? I saw posts about it happening. I didn't see how many people actually played in it though. What was the attendance like for it? They had 176 people. That's not bad. Top half. Might be cooked, gamers. I didn't need a Darkrai 1 card sooner this game. And we're just into a liar from here. And the 10-year sub badge turned out real good on the Twitch side. Still makes me pause every time I type a message in chat and see it. Long time coming. How many people have that badge? Exactly 2 Mo's has been subscribed for as long as my channel's been partner. So him and me. So I have another Lycanroc in hand. I really kind of need... I really kind of wanted a Weezing here. Feels like we're cooked. Chat, this is gonna come as a surprise to some of you, but I think there's a good chance my Darkrai deck is bad. Or my Tyranitar deck is bad. So I'm going to put this energy on here to hit this, but then I'm going to go ahead and pull these over to the Tyranitar right away, just so I don't lose them to Osiris. I can't break 2,000 points in Master Ball. Any deck suggestion to help me out? I just did a best decks tier list roundup on Monday, I think it was. You can check that out on the YouTube channel you're currently watching, Jason. Yeah, if we could dodge Osiris, I think we're in an okay spot. But I have to give up this Larvitar, and then Cyrus is gonna clear my Darkrai. But my Weezing clears this Lycanroc. And then Tyranitar can drive from there, I think. But Cyrus is bad news bears, obviously. Only 6 cards left in their deck. I just feel like I'm always fighting a counter deck when I play. That's what we call negativity bias. Whereas humans, we remember more vividly the things that feel bad. And we kind of forget about the things that are neutral and whatnot. So it's a very negative feeling to run into a counter matchup, so it stands out in your mind. Whereas running into a neutral or good matchup is less memorable and forgettable. I guess we're angling for a draw now if they don't have Cyrus or Sabrina, yeah? Because I clear this, they hit me, I hit them, we both get 3 points when they hit me again. Statistically dead here. Usually there's one Sabrina or Cyrus in their deck. Oh, that's true. They would need a bench Pokemon too. That's accurate. Any other game actions you want to take here? All right, expected outcome. I think we're gonna maybe play something else. This deck doesn't seem very good, unsurprisingly. I'm not sure I have any other decks that I wanted to record the EX tier list, but we might be on cruise control for pocket content, i.e. focusing live streams on other games until the new set drops. I feel like I'm tapped in terms of everything I want to play right now. I feel like we've played everything that I have noodles on, and not really feel like revisiting anything else. Yeah, we tried some Tyranitar earlier this season, and also kind of mostly went the same. Have an advert. I'm gonna doodle on. Maybe we'll get one more Pokemon deck in before we switch to Sap today, but I don't know. BRB. Can you get demoted out of Master Ball? You can't get demoted out of Master Ball anymore, which is nice. It's a good change. It means I actually play the game after Master Ball. In previous seasons, we just stopped. You tried Umbreon Honchkrow. Why would that be good? Volkner. You know, that's not a terrible idea. Volkner's a deck that appreciates Pichu. That's a good. Electabuzz is easier with Pichu too. What was the Electivire deck we were playing 2 expansions ago? I feel like it was an Electivire deck that wasn't playing Luxray, right? I feel like I did a highlight with this card and something else. Was it Magnezone? Oh, was it the Pikachu? It might have been 150 Pikachu. Yeah, it was. It was 150 Pikachu because we were playing Patchy with it. We were playing this. Yeah, we have energy switch now. You have Pichu. We can play this as kind of a third one. Something like this, maybe. You got a red to go with Pikachu. Yeah, maybe. Are there a lot of 170s? What are my 170 EXs? I guess red also lets this get to 140, right? Yeah. Red lets that get to 140. All right. Let's try it. Ho-Oh with a cape. Ho-Oh is weak to lightning. Electabuzz, please. Electabuzz, please. If we hit EX Pikachu next turn with Plasma, we get it charged up in time to clear the Arceus. So many non-games, so little time. For an EX Pikachu to round out the bench here. Nice. I think I want to be ready to attack with Electabuzz next turn. But yeah, putting energy at each of these technically means I can do either, but think I want to try and clear Pheromosa here. So that way when I clear Buzzwole, we win the game. But if 2 elemental switches overkill, kind of wish I had a Cyrus this game. Well, we get cooked by a Lucamine. We still have a line to victory here, right? Because they kill the Electivire. My Pichu gets Pikachu to... My Pichu gets Pikachu to 2. And then Red plus Pikachu clears the clears the Buzzwole. If they switch to Kartana to take this knockout, they get us. So let's see if they're sharp enough to do that. Narrator, they were. Man, I assume when the AI bubble pops, there'll be a lot of things that people look back on and that, oh, that was a sign. But man, this Axios article quotes that OpenAI has a $500 billion evaluation under the assumption that they're going to have 2 billion paid users someday. And like for reference, Steam currently has 153 million users. And Netflix has 300 million users. Oh, man. There was an article the other day that some independent study group out of one of the universities said that current corporates investing in AI are currently seeing about a 5% return rate on functionality. Just like, good golly. All right, well, we have some Vulcaners. If you count botting, it's possible. Do you think every bot's gonna pay $5 a month? Right? They're not talking about free users. Their valuation is based off of 2 billion people paying them $5 a month. It's a lot of dough, yep. Attempt to murder this guzzler in the back. What's the biggest subscriber base that's ever existed? Someone threw around the stat that Netflix has had 300 million subscribers. Oh, gamers. Yeah. I feel like I've hit my limit on Pokemon Pocket deck brewing this season. I've got a couple more highlights in the tank to get daily videos out. We'll have spoiler reviews starting soon, but most of the off-meta things that we've tried just don't feel remotely competitive. Okay. I think I'm gonna kick on over to snapping, and I think we might be on a little bit of a Pocket live stream hiatus. I'm gonna do some direct to YouTube content. We're excited for this. I mean, we got 2.5 weeks of good set release, over half the life cycle, chat. Yeah, I mean, like, we explored what there is to explore. The last 2 sessions, everything off meta we've played has felt really bad. If you want to know what decks are good, there's a decks tier list up on the YouTube channel. But I think the good decks are good and the bad decks are bad, and everybody pretty much is just playing the good decks at this point. So it's mostly just us getting punched down upon. So, yep. Yeah, we should get Shadowverse spoilers soon, and we should have the preview video for the next Pokemon Pocket set should drop either tomorrow morning or Friday morning, with the next set releasing on the 28th, a week from tomorrow. So, okay. I was gonna focus on Marvel Snap's got High Voltage dropping tomorrow. We're gonna focus on Marvel Snap and Once Upon a Galaxy until Shadowverse and Pocket release new cards. But that'll be next week. It'll be real soon. I think that's just how I'm gonna manage my content cycle moving forward. It's when there's new things to poke at and things are interesting and I'm having fun with it, we'll do more of it. And then when I feel like we've hit the what there is to explore, I'm not gonna push myself and make myself play it if it doesn't seem like it's interesting or things to poke at for me. So it's not goodbye. It's just I'll see you later, Pokemon gamers. Which I know Snap isn't everyone's cup of tea, but if you like strategy games, I'd really recommend. We're going to play Once Upon a Galaxy at the very end of the stream today. We're going to do Snap next, but if you're looking for another game to enjoy my content with, you should really check out Once Upon a Galaxy. It's honestly got one of the most reasonable monetization models of things I've seen too. So we're going to kick it over to the Jeff Oakland channel on the YouTube side to play some Snap, and then we'll wrap up later with some Galaxy.